Hey everybody, welcome back for Game 3, some more Zerg versus Terran action. Zeph, why don't you take us away?
In the top left-hand corner, we have the blue Terran. It is Polt.
And his opponent, spawning in the lower right, coming back off of a loss, tying this up, it's the red Zerg, Acer.Nerchio. Now, of course, for those who don't know, maybe you're just watching this VOD out of the blue, I don't know, this is for the ZOTAC Cup, the European Cup, 100 euros on the line. These cups, by the way, ZOTAC North America and ZOTAC Europe, take place every Saturday and Sunday, and there's always $100 on the line. It's winner take all. It's open to all leagues, so if you guys are watching this video in your Bronze League, Silver League, Masters League, you want to try your hand at it, go ahead and sign up. Just go ahead, Google ZOTAC Cup, and it'll take you, the first result is the page.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Big variety of players that play. So it's definitely worth having a stab at the tournament if you like to compete.
And one thing I'm a little curious on, not that it really came into any effect last game, because last game was just kind of Nerchio, I think, brute forcing his way to victory. I'm curious, Polt lives in North America, Nerchio of course in Europe. He's got that hometown advantage plus lag, no matter how good your internet is. North America to Europe, you will always have a slight bit of lag. So I am curious if that's going to come into play here today. Because, you know, Polt, it's one thing to just micro your Marines, A move, and stim, but you got to split them. You know, when there's banelings on the field, you got to keep an eye on what's going on. And sometimes that, like, 0.5 millisecond lag can really just lose you a battle.
Yeah, it might play a factor. I mean, for me, being from C and playing on NA and stuff, we actually get quite used to the amount of lag that we have to play with. And I figure after Polt's been in North America for a while, if he's played a few European tournaments, he's probably more or less adjusted to that so far. So hopefully it really won't play too much of a factor in his games, because it's really disappointing when you have to lose a bunch of units to banelings because you didn't quite split fast enough or something like that. It's a really bad feeling because it's not even your fault.
Well, then there's also the cases where you're playing someone like Nerchio or Hyun, where there's like 50 banelings on the field.
Yeah.
There's just nothing you can do about it. But we have the Reaper opening once again. This SCV will be coming over for the bunker, but look what Nerchio has done. This patrolling drone's ready to intercept. No bunker will be built, but unfortunately kind of ignores the SCV as it gets up here to the high ground.
Yeah. Polt, actually, he's not too deterred by that sort of thing either. He will sometimes drop the bunker on the high ground. I've seen him do that a couple of times now, actually.
Yeah,
Okay, he's going to do it right here.
Cheeky bugger. And Nerchio, actually, he should know this is kind of going on. Like, it's got to go through his head, like, okay, the SCV where to go, here it is, building the bunker. Little bit irritating. Now, Polt, of course, can just pull the SCV back for the time being, wait for the Reaper to kill the drone, but with these Zerglings coming out, he's got to be careful. Does not want to lose the SCV this early.
Yeah, indeed. Oh, that SCV is so low. I think it's going to go down. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the regen.
Just barely saves the SCV.
Wow.
Alright, well, there are more
Nice.
Zerglings, and getting back in here might be a little bit impossible. Do you see this? The SCV is so tentative about getting back in there to finish. However, the second Reaper coming now should be able to make his way down here, but the Queen will just pick off this SCV in a single hit.
Yeah, definitely. Well, at least with those two Reavers, he continued to harass.
What a ballsy guy, coming back in still nonetheless.
Yeah, he doesn't even care.
Oh,
And there we go. It does go down.
He'll probably leave the bunker up for a couple seconds here, buy a little bit of time, and go for the cancel. But for the time being, it's also providing high ground vision, allowing these Reapers to get in and do some fighting near the cliff if necessary. But two Reapers actually being kind of inactive. We'll pick off maybe one of these drones on the transfer. Nicely done.
We've got even more Reapers coming across the map. He went 2 racks Reaper this time into the factory, so his expansion is a little bit more delayed. He also doesn't have all that much to defend, and 20 Speedlings are about to pop out. Sorry, not Speedlings just yet, but will be in a few seconds.
20 anything at this stage of the game is always a big number to have coming, no matter what it is. And these Queens, these drones, these Zerglings are going to push Polt out of the base for the time being. Still has not lost a single Reaper. Very well done.
Yeah, and this is probably the best response from Nerchio, because if a Terran makes any more than 3 Reapers, I think it is, they've actually really committed to it, so they don't have much at home at all, and he knows that. He's going to force that command center to lift.
Now the downside is, he might force the command center to lift, and he might even pick off an SCV, but Zerglings cannot out DPS their repair of an SCV, so the top of Polt's base is in no real danger. As long as he pulls the repair, I mean, without banelings, he cannot possibly break this wall.
Yeah, definitely. But I don't think that's his intention here.
No,
anyway, he just wants to deny that.
Yeah.
natural for as long as possible, and he can also probably safely take a third base in not too long once he's got his mineral line saturated, because he's not
Whoa!
under threat.
Hold the phone. We just had a Roach Warren canceled and then repositioned to the natural. Interesting. Not sure what the thought process there. Maybe fear of drops. I mean, it is Aklon and it is Polt. Meanwhile, Polt playing kind of like cattle wrangler here, trying to bait the Zerglings into the gate, as it were. Now they will get this round. Oh no! Somehow doesn't get this round on that Reaper.
This is very clever by Polt.
Just exchanges it out. That's pretty cool. I like that he's doing that. Because of course, if Nerchio just sits on hold position, he will lose all of his Zerglings. But Baneling Nest coming out. He wants to keep these Zerglings alive. I mean, he needs to. These have to become Banelings.
Yep. I really like how Polt isn't too phased by this. He's just continued on with his normal build from here. And oh wow, now these Lings are actually stuck. And Nerchio's going to have to make some extra ones to respond to this push.
Yeah, I do want to throw out too. Not only is Polt kind of keeping his cool and finishing his build, he did even get that third command center up. So despite how delayed this is, 3 mules at a time, no problemo. But huge Roach follow-up and a huge Zergling follow-up to this. Nerchio's going to find himself actually really nicely able to handle what's coming his way.
Yeah, having those roaches out is pretty much going to nullify any effects that this push might have had. Even as the reinforcements with the one Marauder come across the map, it's not going to do anything at this point. And Nerchio could actually have quite a nice counterattack opportunity once again with all these beefy units.
Yeah, with no stim on this Bioforce, it's actually quite paltry, but Hellions come from behind. Nerchio does have to sort of play point guard on those Zerglings. They are so important right now, not because of the Zerglings, but because of the Banelings. And there we go, 12 on the way. This will be more than enough to bust the first wall, but the second wall, of course, will still be a bit of a problem.
Wow, this is really tense for Polt. His units are stuck around the other side of the base because they could not get in.
And he gets a kill off on that rightmost bunker, so there is a hole for the Banelings to get in here. However, the Zerglings are already being taken out. Nice sniping with these Reapers and the Hellions. Baneling numbers have been reduced, but not enough. Bunker still goes down. And as you said, that squad of units stranded outside the base, wishing so desperately to help.
Yeah, nice positioning with the SCVs, luring them into the fire, but there's just not enough here.
Oh, the Widowmines! The Widowmines blocking the supply depot from raising, actually. Does allow everything to get into the base. A couple of roaches. I mean, the SCV's Polt could actually probably deal with these roaches, but it's the Zergling follow-up here in the natural Zeph, and the constant flood of units coming across the field. Polt just cannot hold. He doesn't have the production.
Yeah, this is looking very much like the end of the last game. Just constant Zerg coming across the map. Nerchio has demolished the economy. GG comes down from Polt.